Hello everybody, my name is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. This is the huge debate, and today we are going to be talking about which Manchester United player is going furthest in the World Cup this summer. And I've got two massive debaters joining me today. I've got Statman Dave and I have got Gaz, Drinkwater, Radio Gaz. And lads, you two are going to be deciding via the power of the cards who goes first in this big debate. Now, we are recording this before this goes out, so there's a couple of games that could happen in between. There's a Spain game, there's a France game, so, let's hope that anything that we say isn't going to be, too incorrect by the time this comes out. But Gaz, you are first to go. Give me your pick of the card.
4 of diamonds.
The 4 of diamonds. David, what do you think it's going to be?
The 7 of hearts.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Dave, you get to go first, my mate.
So I know that Gaz wanted to go with Romelu Lukaku, so I'm going to go with Jesse Lingard. Heard it here, right, guys? Jesse Lingard is going to go the furthest with England, of course. After the 6-1 demolition of Panama, England are back in form. One guy that's sort of becoming a real star for the England side is Jesse Lingard. We all see it for Manchester United, the way he passes and moves. He runs off the ball, he gets in behind, he gets into good areas. And what he's added to his game is coming from that left wing and that sort of curling it into the far corner. And I think that's why England are going to go further, because not only do they have that tactical flexibility, but they have players around Jesse Lingard that can get the best out of Lingard. The likes of Jordan Henderson has done well in this tournament so far. Kyle Walker creating that good base allows Jess to play his natural game. Take the Panama game. Jess wins a vital penalty to give England a 2-1 lead. Then, of course, the goal that he scored, the 1-2 of Raheem Sterling. That's not a surprise for United fans. We saw a pretty similar goal that Paul Pogba and Lingard combined for against Everton. But I think with Lingard and England, they look quite good in terms of they'll be difficult to play against. I know Gaz is going to go Romelu Lukaku, and I think that's absolutely rubbish. I think England will beat Belgium, and they'll sort of go on to really progress through the tournament. The thing with that is Belgium will get a harder draw. Yes, England may have to play Colombia or Senegal in the next round. They're likely to get through that. Then you're pushing forward to the latter stages, where they'll be playing either Germany or maybe Brazil. That's where the test will really come. But I think with Jess Lingard's movement, we've seen what Thomas Muller's done in recent years, where his movement off the ball is really good in international tournaments. That's similar to Jess Lingard. And that's why I think Jess is going to go very, very far. Not only did he score a goal against Panama, he was good, hit the post against Tunisia. I just think he's having a really good tournament. And he's sort of, with this England squad, it's more of a team, more of a collective group. You're seeing players like Sterling and Jess Lingard doing stuff together in a way, like actually looking like they're pals. And I think that's really important at international tournaments, to be friendly both off and on the pitch. And Jess Lingard is the heartbeat of this United team, with the England team and the United team. But also you've got Harry Kane and so forth. And that's why Jess Lingard is going to go over the furthest as a Manchester United player in the World Cup. With, of course, Marcus Rashford and Ashley Young. Don't forget about those two lads.
And Phil Jones.
Yeah. Forgot he was playing.
Do you reckon Phil Jones will get a game this World Cup?
Playing at centre half.
Will he get any minutes, Phil Jones, at any point, for any reason?
Maybe.
Not sure.
Maybe.
Please, no.
Right then, Gaz, I want you to pick apart that argument. Why is Jesse Lingard the United player that is not going to go the furthest in this year's World Cup?
No, I think Dave's made some good points there, and Jesse Lingard was probably my second choice, and I do think he's going to have a really good World Cup, but I think that's because what defines a really good World Cup for England this year is probably getting through that round of 16, and then if they do come up against a big team at the minute, it's probably looking likely it'll be someone like Brazil, and they do go out, it's not going to be a massive disappointment. It's still going to be a very good tournament for England, and Jesse Lingard can still have a great tournament despite going out at that point. I do think that when he does come up against the big teams, he's going to suffer, though, a little bit. We've seen him get a lot of space against Panama, but let's face it, they're essentially a bunch of farmers. The first game against Tunisia, I think he had an okay game in parts. Dave's already holding his head. But I just think that my pick, personally, is the more of a big game player for the national team than the other one, personally. And I think Jesse Lingard, he's done well, don't get me wrong, and I do hope England do well, and I do think we'll consider it a really good tournament if he goes on to score maybe 1 or 2 more in the tournament and we get knocked out in the quarterfinals. But the player that I picked, I think his team's going to get further. Dead simple.
All right, Gaz, let's hear your pick then. Give us your pick. Who you going for?
No, can I not come back to this?
No. You have a 30-second time in a minute to come back, and you can come back on his argument later. Thank you. Gaz, give us your pick. It's a one-way picking apart. You don't get to reply until your 30-second bit in the end. All right. As you was, Gaz.
My pick, I think, is one of probably the most intelligent strikers in world football right now, and that is Romelu Lukaku. Some of the things that he does are just things that you're just like, right, that is exactly what a striker's job is to do, and he doesn't mess it up either. The goals that he scored against Tunisia, I thought, were brilliant, just typical. You can't give him the space on his left side. I think Belgium obviously have a really good team. My main concern with Belgium is the manager, and if things do start to go wrong a little bit, then it does all start to implode because, I mean, some of them players, I'd be surprised if they do fully trust Martinez. However, I think Romelu Lukaku is going to bag a few more. I honestly do think in the back of my head that Belgium are probably going to get a win against England. Obviously, I hope they don't. I do hope England go and do it, but I think that Belgium have a better squad. Lukaku's obviously, I think, will be getting better support than Harry Kane will in this World Cup, especially when we go into the big games, where I think that Belgium will impress this time around, finally, the golden generation and all that. And I just think he'll finish the tournament as the Golden Boot winner. I think they can get through to the semi-finals this year. And I can't see any other United player getting past him apart from Paul Pogba. However, I do think that Romelu Lukaku will be a more integral part of his team. And like I say, I just think he's one of the most intelligent strikers in world football, and he's brilliant to watch at the minute. He's always in the right positions, always making the right runs. And also, a big thing that we noticed with Lukaku last year at United is there'd be periods of play where he'd be making a great run, and he'd literally have to scream at the top of his voice before someone else in the team, Jesse Lingard included, actually noticed him and played the pass to him. This time at Belgium, we saw in the first game against Panama where De Bruyne actually plays a pass to him, like as he's starting to do his whole screaming thing, like passing me. So you can see with his arms, he's going, pass it here, but De Bruyne's already played the pass. So I think he'll score even more. It'll be an even better goal scoring form for Belgium than he has been for United.
Farmers 35 seconds ago.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's
and just to put you up on one thing there, guys, though, you just literally took apart your own argument there because you said which United player is going to go. I mean, you said you think Paul Pogba's going to go further, but he's going to be more integral. Guys. Literally right here on my screen it says which player will go furthest at the World Cup, not which player's more integral.
I know, but it's more interesting to argue for Lukaku than it is for Pogba.
After everyone else has finished clipping him up, would you like to take apart his argument, please?
I don't know where to start here. There's a lot to talk about there, guys. I think
Start on the farmers.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Disrespecting Panamanian football, I do believe. That's disgusting, guys. You need to sort yourself out there. Lukaku he's done very well so far in the World Cup, but I think the big thing there is that Belgium are going to start to struggle as the sort of latter stages come on. We know that Martinez, his Wigan side were very good going forward. Defensively, very, very poor. You already look at the Belgium team, there's already a massive hole in their sort of side tactically, with Carrasco as a left wing back, consistently out of position, in the wrong position. There's balls that you can play in those channels and you get behind them. You're thinking that more intelligent sides will carve them apart. The Tunisia second goal was a prime example of that move, where they broke down the right-hand side. They played a through ball inside. Carrasco, Vertonghen came over and they cut the ball back and scored. That's how you can get out of this Belgian team. Slow outside centre-halves. And I think Lukaku's going to have a brilliant tournament. He'll be one of the top scorers. But I think collectively this Belgium team is very, very broken. Sometimes they only defend with Witsel at defensive midfield, the two wing-backs and the three centre-halves. You ain't going to win tournaments when you're doing that. And that is a big, big problem. Kevin De Bruyne is too free in that system. Like, he's given a free role in the system where he needs to hold in a two-man pivot. He doesn't do that. Hazard doesn't like defending. Mertens is a central striker when he plays for Napoli.
Hazard don't like passing either.
Yeah, and then Lukaku's basically, he could carry that attack by himself. If Belgium sat back with their other 9 outfield players and Lukaku up front, he's done so much of the World Cup before, could probably score all the goals himself. Because of that tactical naivety from Martinez and the Belgian players, it means that they're going to crash out when they face someone that's a little bit more counter-attacking or someone that's going to cause them more problems. Because from Tunisia scoring twice against them, that is a little bit of a worry. And again, what I mentioned before with Jess Lingard, England look collectively a lot better than Belgium. They look like a collective team. And you mentioned Jess Lingard not being a big game player.
For the national team.
Forget his performance in the second half against Man City.
For the national team, I actually did specify. Because he's not actually had the opportunity to do it yet, to be fair. But I can't see him doing it this World Cup, unfortunately, against the big boys. Look, I like Jesse Lingard. He's a great player. And, we've been saying all year at United that the problem with him is that you've got people on either side of the fence. People think he should be starting every week and people think he should be sold immediately. And the actual truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
He should be starting every single week.
However, what we've seen at the minute, he's looking good, but I just can't see the team around him really getting him further in the World Cup than Romelu Lukaku. But a lot of these questions are going to be answered when actually Belgium do play England, so I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think any of these questions are getting answered when Belgium play England, because this is an absolute dead rubber. Both of these teams have already qualified, and to be honest, the route for the team who comes second in England and Belgium's group is arguably a bit more favourable than the team that comes first. So it might be a case of no one really goes for it in this. You might see massive, heavily rotated. I don't think you're going to learn anything from the very last game in a group where everyone's already been decided who's qualifying. Right, because there's only two of you, I'm throwing my hand into the ring here, and I'm going to go and throw a team in and a player in, and that player is going to be David De Gea. And David De Gea is going to go the furthest than all of y'all with Spain, because Spain is the more complete side. Now, I think their major weakness is that they don't have a proper top goal scorer, but they've got an horrible bastard up front in Diego Costa. The midfield is absolutely fantastic. The defence is full of hanging dirty bastards, which is absolutely top. And David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. Yeah, forget about that bit of a fluke with that half-decent Portuguese fella that they had against him. It was one of them fluky games. Forget that they struggled to get past Iran. They got past them. It's happy days. Spain are going all the way, and Big Dave's going to have a World Cup to his ever-increasing trophy haul. Bosh, you don't get 30 seconds because I'm in charge. All right.
The thing is, right, it doesn't matter how far Spain get in this tournament now, and it doesn't even matter how far how well De Gea plays at time. He'll always be remembered for that mistake, because that is the life of the goalkeeper. If they make a big howling mistake at the start of the World Cup especially, you'll always have people saying, "God, remember that."
Then I win.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess I've just misunderstood this debate a little bit.
Spain could be facing one of two sides, either Uruguay or Russia. Both sides are very, very difficult to play against. Russia, we've seen their high pressing. Uruguay, we've seen they can defend. They've got two of the best centre-backs in world football, Godin and Jose Jimenez at centre-half. Spain were very toothless against Portugal. They're very open to the counter-attack. And that's the problem, that you can catch this Spain team out. And we've seen what Russia have done. We've seen what Uruguay have done on the break. There's a bit of an issue there, and that's the round of 16, which means that my pick and Gaz's pick actually go ahead of your pick, because they're going to struggle against that first game, round of 16. David De Gea may be the best goalkeeper in the world, but if you get caught on the break and you're very wasteful in possession like David Silva has been in the tournament so far, you've got yourself a bit of an issue.
I know it's hard to judge a goalkeeper.
They're getting through that round of 16.
He's played two games. One he's conceded 3, and one where he's got a clean sheet against the mighty Iran. I mean, he's just an odd choice at this point in the tournament, I think. But obviously, he's still the best goalie in the world.
How many clean sheets have Belgium kept, son? Thank you. Shut your mouth.
I'm not picking the goalie. I'm picking the striker.
You're picking them as a team to go furthest. Jesus wet, Gary.
Stupid debate.
Right. David, you've got 30 seconds to tell us why you believe Jesse Lingard is going the furthest. Go.
Jesse Lingard is going the furthest because he is a superstar. Passing and move, simple as you like. He's got goals, work rate, but ability to run in behind. You add that to England with Harry Kane's hold-up play. There's a lot of sort of good transitions that they can make. And again, England are flexible. They can play a 3-5-2. They can also look like a 5-3-2. I think they're going to go far, England, in this tournament. They've got a good run up until the quarterfinals where they'll hit a big boy, but I think they've got enough sort of character as a squad to get through that. Belgium are tactically weak, and of course Spain are going to get a bit of a problem when they come up against Atletico Madrid, or should I say Uruguay.
Okay. Gaz, you've got 30 seconds to pretend that you think Belgium are going to win the World Cup. Go.
Right, Romelu Lukaku going into the last game against England, I think he's going to be fired up, despite you saying it's a dead rubber game. I don't think that at all. I think England are going to go straight into it and try and get the win, and I think Belgium will respond and get the win. In the next round, I really hope we get to see him play against a team like Japan, who don't seem very physically strong at all, and Romelu Lukaku could have an absolute field day against them. A round of 16 hat-trick for Lukaku would be lovely. Going into the quarterfinals, that's when we see him against the big teams. I think this is where Lukaku will go from considered a good striker worldwide to considered one of the very best in the world. We'll see him impress against someone like Brazil, and everyone will rate him after that. Rom to win the Golden Boot.
All right, that last 38 seconds doesn't count after you just waffled on completely over it. I get 30 seconds. Begin. Spain have got the most disciplined Spain have got the most pedigree at the highest level, and basically that's what you need to be winning in a World Cup. Look at how many Real Madrid players are in. They've just won 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues. They've got players that have won a World Cup before in this team. Spain are going to go all the way. They're going to win this. They've got the best goalkeeper. They've got the strongest defence, sort of. The midfield is an absolute embarrassment of riches, and they've got an horrible bastard up front in Diego Costa. They're winning it. This debate at least, if not the World Cup.
Alex.
All right, your 30 seconds is up. Shut your mouth. Okay, done. Right then, I get to decide if I won or not. What do you mean I don't? Why not? Okay, it looks like you are going to have to choose. We're going to stick it up here in the corner. You get to choose who is going the furthest out of all of these, and seeing as though we can have a 4th option, we'll say other, and you get to comment who you think it's going to be. So who's going to win this debate? You guys get to pick. Is it going to be England going the furthest? Is it going Belgium going the furthest? Or is it former world champions, absolutely littered with Real Madrid talent, and David De Gea, the best goalkeeper in the world, Spain? Or is it somebody else? Now, those somebody else's has to include a United player, obviously. So you can now have Brazil, and you can have Fred. You could have France and Paul Pogba. That's pretty much it. Or you could have Serbia with Matic. I think that's about it. It's something like that. Anyway, you guys let us know in the comments, and also get your voting up here. That is who we think is going to be going the furthest. Let us know in the comments who you think. Go and give all of these guys a follow on social media, and we will see you in the next one. Laters.